What's up, Dark Judges, Desperados, and Dudes in Dick-Shaped Helmets? It's Heavy Metal Kid from Cursed Earth Radio, and I'm going to show off this cool Judge Dredd board game from designer Ian Livingston and Games Workshop. This is from 1982, and most likely the forefather of all these other Judge Dredd miniatures and board games that you see there in the background. This was given to Cursed Earth Radio by a good friend of the show, Rick, who actually joined us on one of our Deep End episodes. And so thanks to him for giving us this amazing piece of Judge Dredd gaming history. I'm just going to open up the box and show you the contents. We'll take a look at it together. And then at some point, we're going to do a playthrough video so that we can see how this game works, or at least a how to play video. I don't know if we'll actually get to a full playthrough. That would be great. It's always possible. Let us know in the comments if that's something you want to see. I thought this would be interesting to unbox, quote unquote, on video, because as we've discussed in our previous videos, some of you crazy people actually enjoy watching cardboard boxes opened and then boxes containing other things coming out of those boxes. It's like boxception. So if you enjoy that, then you're bound to enjoy this awesome piece of Judge Dredd history. And without even looking at the inside of the instruction booklet, I can tell that that's a Brian Bolland Judge Dredd. It's kind of unmistakable. So totally awesome. And I did look in the in the instruction booklet, but what I'm saying, because I didn't want to get it wrong, and I also wanted to give credit to anyone else who did the art, but what I'm saying is Bolland's Dredd is Bolland's Dredd, and nobody can copy that. Let's go ahead and just take a look. I have the judge gloves on to protect this relic. There you go. I'm sorry about this aspect ratio. It's terrible. It's too wide. It's not suited for gaming content. What are you going to do, right? We're a podcast, not a video show. So there you can see the back of the box. If you get your telescope out, you might be able to read what's going on, but that's okay. I'll bring it up close to the camera here. You can see the exciting looking board. It really is pretty nice, and I think the board artwork is done by Ian Gibson. So everything about this game is Judge Dredd family quality. And bring the back up here. The box is in really good shape. And what I thought was interesting, this is, of course, a Games Workshop game. And back in the day, Games Workshop was still at the forefront of gaming, as they are today, with regards to games that are a little bit heavier than board games. But they have a little chart there on the bottom right with game data, and I thought that was cool because it tells you the complexity level of the game, and they give that a 3. The luck of the game, and that's like a 3.5, and then the player suitability from novice to expert, and they want you to be a 4. I just thought that was really interesting. And it's age 8 to adult. So imagine that you're looking for an 8-year-old whose player complexity is a 4. That might be hard to find. But I thought that was cool that they give you that little rundown, because I know a lot of people that don't like games that are quote-unquote lucky. They don't like games that rely on luck a lot. So, with games like Blood Rage and some of these other card games, card/board games that are incorporating things other than dice, because dice make a game pretty lucky. People are interested in that. So I thought that was really cool that they would give you that little breakdown there on the back. This thing comes from a time when board games were just a whole different deal, and the smell of this musty board game and the box artwork and the way that it's designed really gives me that nostalgic feeling for the days when I didn't play board games yet, but some of the older people in my family did. They were heavy board gamers, and I would wait till they would take a break from their board gaming and go in and play with all the pieces and mess everything up and piss everybody off. Yeah, but look at this old school Games Workshop logo. I've never seen that before. And all right, there you go. Let's open it up. try to do this, and I'll bring everything out and show you without wrecking everything. It's hard with these gloves on, but it's a necessity. This is cool. I'm glad someone who kept this game all these years left this little flyer in there. And actually, the game was totally unpunched, so it sat on someone's shelf forever, and they never even touched it. Yeah, you want to know more about Judge Dredd and his incredible city of the future? Well, then you can follow his adventures every Monday in 2000 AD, the galaxy's greatest comic. And Dredd plays for keeps. So that's cool. A little advertisement for 2000 AD, but no real information on where to go to find it, because at this point, you basically have to go to your comic shop or your newsstand if you live in the UK and you're lucky enough to be able to pick up Dredd on the newsstand. What else do we have? This is the card album, and there's a ton of cards in this game, and basically this is just an album that shows you every single card and all of the text on each card. And it seems as if a lot of the text on the back of these cards is 100% for flavor. So you have locations, you have crimes, and you have perps. So we're looking at crimes now, and you can see each crime has a value. And that's pretty much it. There's the value of the crime, and all this stuff on the back is flavor text, which is really cool, actually, because any board game involving the Judge Dredd universe is really missing out if they don't highlight the complexity, the eccentricity of the Judge Dredd universe. And look who we got here. Robot smashing, which is a crime. But that's Walter, and I would probably say that smashing Walter would be an exception, if you ask me. Now, if you ask my counterpart, Cool Johnny Cool, he would say that robot smashing of Walter would be punishable by the death penalty. And that pretty much sums up the Judge Dredd fan base right there. People that hate Walter, people that love Walter, but we can all live in harmony together. And last but not least, perps. And each perp has a rating. Man, so much good artwork on these things. Oh, and there's Judge Death. So they weren't lying. At least his card shows up. And his value is 10. I'm assuming that's pretty high because everyone else I'm seeing, like this guy here who I've never heard of in my entire life, Ice Pick Brown, is a 7. And oh my god, Clegg and the Clegg Hounds don't even measure up to Judge Death. So, cool. Here you go. Little player pieces. Oh, speaking of simpler times, they could have just pulled these right out of Sorry. Now, I have heard that there was a version of this, or a specific pressing of this, that included little miniature judges. I haven't looked around to see if I could track some of those down or not yet. I probably would if I could, just because I'm a sucker for miniatures. But yeah, there you go. You get 1 dice. I mean, this whole thing is just so quaint. A single dice and your 6 little player pieces. And this is the shocking thing for me here. Let me push this back just a little bit. This, my friends, is the rule book. The entire rule book. And it's actually just a rule fold out. So the entire game can be summed up on 4 pages. And man, talk about, again, quaint. Here we have some cards, and they're all unpunched, and there's some of them are just hanging on there by a thread. Just by pulling them out of there, I got cards falling out. They're going to get punched anyway, but they're in perfect shape, perfect condition. And this game was not purchased for us to keep in its box and never play. This will get the loving care of a fully used, fully played game at some point. So it's your action cards, these nice nicely colored perp cards. That's cool. All the cards are different colors and different shapes. There you go. And your crime cards. And then you have a 2-part board. And this is, oh my, you got the little waxy sheet of paper. Oh my God, that's amazing. Look at that. Ian Gibson, everyone. Super, super bright and beautiful. And for being as old as it is, those colors look amazing. And there you go. Why didn't somebody play this? What's wrong with people? They were probably playing Monopoly when they could have been judging the citizens and criminals of Mega City 1. What a shame. All right, and that's it. If you found this video interesting, say something to us down in the comment section and let us know you're watching. Let us know if there's some other Judge Dredd board game or tabletop gaming content that we're missing. And let's stay in touch. If you have not checked out our podcast at Cursed Earth Radio on Spotify and iTunes and all of those different sources, go check it out. Maybe you'll enjoy that too. Keep your eyes peeled for a how to play video of this, as if somebody's sitting out there with a copy of this just waiting for someone to teach them the rules. I know. But maybe for the purposes of Judge Dredd board gaming history, you would be interested to see how this game works. Well, we're going to do that for you. So until then, keep listening, creeps.